Jane Eyre, 2006, Masterpiece Theater, Ruth Wilson, Toby Stephens. Oh heavens, this movie. I remember when this came on TV, we were looking forward to it and we were like, oh, it's another Jane Eyre, yay, for the 21st century. And yeah, it was for the 21st century indeed. Because I just remember when they showed the thing at the end of the first night, what they were going to be doing the next night for the second half, and it had that fire scene. You know, not the fire scene, but the other one. You know what I mean. We were just like, what? And then when it came on TV the next night or the next week, whatever, we were like, what is happening? I don't remember this in the book. And so that's why we have always dubbed this one, or at least I have in my head, this is the sexy Jane Eyre. It has so much appeal for so many different kinds of people. It's got the meat and potatoes for the diehards like me, yet it also has scenery and fast editing and cutting and really crazy stuff. This is the most experimental version by far. You got nightmares and red filter for the red room and crazy camera angles. Ow, almost hit my head on this. And there's just like all this weird stuff, and it's really visually exciting. And if you're a person who doesn't necessarily want to sit there and watch the whole book put on screen, it's almost 4 hours long, but they have cut out a lot of the kind of obscure allusions and some of the more flowery dialogue and stuff that I guess could go on to excess. I don't really consider it to be too much, but they keep it fast-paced and moving, and they keep you engaged. I think that probably, in my estimation at least, the biggest plus for people with this one is Jane and Rochester. They are both so natural, so likable. He is the perfect combination of cranky pants Rochester and teasing flirty Rochester and emo romantic Byronic hero Rochester, and it's all just combined into this really fun character. And a lot of the dialogue between the two of them, they give you these warm fuzzies. And when I say natural, I'm talking about, yes, the chemistry, but I also mean they really make you understand how this relationship could come about. Jane, Ruth Wilson, she just seems like the perfect listener. Like, he is sitting there talking, going on, telling her all this kind of sordid stuff, and it is just so clear how having this person, this non-judging, very open, frank person sitting there listening, how that would make him feel and how that would make him fall in love with her. And all of it just makes for a lot of fun and squee-worthy. That feels so, I don't know, 2006 to say. But it is. You want to squee. Well, 2006, that's the year this movie came out, so that's what I'm gonna say. So, yes, I enjoy this version, just like everybody else. However, this wouldn't be a proper Jane Eyre review if I didn't point out a few things that bothered me. Yes, there are even things that bother me about this one. I didn't remember these at all, or maybe it's because when I saw it all the other times, I was watching it just for entertainment purposes, and yet this time I was being more analytical. I mean, for crying out loud, I took notes. Alright, here goes. A couple things that bother me. The beginning stuff is so rushed. This one does the fast forward to 8 years later at 15 minutes and 30 seconds. They, as my mom put it, first she said, I guess they figure we just know the story. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you kind of just have to assume. And then my mom's other observation, when it did the fast forward, was, wow, they cut out this and this and this. I guess they're in a hurry to get to the sexy stuff. Even Mom knows what's up. And because they rush themselves so much, they kind of get into trouble, because then later, Bessie shows up at Thornfield, and really, considering how much time you got to see her and how much development they didn't show between her and young Jane, you A, have no reason really to recognize her and remember her, and B, have no reason to feel like Jane and Bessie should be like, oh, Bessie, it's so good to see you. Oh, Jane, you grew up into such a little thing, and blah, blah, blah. Because there's no ground for that. But in their defense, they did kind of make up for it by having a very lengthy, I think it was like 14 minutes she spent at Gateshead. Spent a lot of time with dying aunt, and Tara Fitzgerald, she is the scariest Mrs. Reed, like her voice. And they spent a lot of time getting to know the two cousins, Eliza and Georgiana. I don't know if that makes up for the brevity in the beginning or not. It's kind of up to you. Likewise, there is a lot of time spent with the guests, and there's a lot of added dialogue, stuff about science, and twins, and birds migration, and man's free will, and how to educate children. And I know there's a point to all of it, but sometimes I feel like they were trying a little hard to make new points about things. The screenplay was long enough without them adding all this stuff. And then there's that one scene. You know. This is one of those period dramas of the new era where they're trying to take the dusty old classics, which may or may not be as dusty as you think, and they spice things up. And they're like, you know what Jane Eyre needs? Needs a bedroom scene. Okay. I don't need that for my attention to be engaged. And since I'm pretty much almost always watching these with at least one of my parents, I can do without it. And yeah, watching this fire scene, bedroom scene, fire bedroom, but not that one. Watching this scene with my parents was really awkward when I was 16. And it's still awkward now. And it's not just that we all feel kind of like, wow, this is unexpected and weird, but it's bigger than that. Jane Eyre would never have allowed that. After the wedding was botched, Jane didn't even want to come out of her room and talk to him and face him and have to deal with the temptation of him wanting to touch her and kiss her and hold her and all that stuff. She was like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna fend him off? She definitely would not have been like, yeah, sure, you can come in the bedroom and yeah, okay, we can lay down and I'll let you whisper in my ear and caress my neck. No. But wow, it really did make for some interesting television. So that's that. The analytical version of my thoughts on this film. If I was just gonna be purely, it would have been really different if if it was a review from like 8 years ago. Oh my goodness, I didn't talk about Bertha or St. John at all. I really like this Bertha and this St. John. You could actually see why Rochester was so attracted to her, and she's a very sensual person, and that just really fits in with everything. And St. John, very natural and well developed, and not just a cardboard person or a stick in the mud. He was actually interesting. So yeah, 2006. Still like it. Still think it's one of the best.